Alright, here's this was Professor Plum's hideout, but now it's Ellie's hideout and Lola's hideout. So here's an update on the 5 gallon. So the Hygrophila siamensis 53B is what it's called. Is growing really great here. That was straight out of the Tropica pot, planted in there, and no melt and regrowth. That's just how it is. It just keeps growing that way. So that's pretty good, because a lot of times when you buy plants, they're immersed and they have to melt and start over. So here's Ellie from the 20 long. Yeah, I see you, Ellie. I know, I took you out of your tank. She was originally in the 38 anyways. Here's Lola, the new beta. She's red, white, and blue. I guess you could say she's a little kind of patriotic. Little koi beta. She is a female koi beta. Usually you see males, but my local fish store here, Houston, well, it's not real local, but in Webster, they always have a great assortment of things there. They carry tropical plants and, you know, rare cichlids and things, and you know, they carry a lot of, most of these plants that I get are from there. And this little koi beta was in a tank full of female koi betas, so that's pretty rare. You don't see that very often. But let's take a look here. So we have a bunch of buse, bunch of, how you say, bucephalandra. We have some Anubias nana petite. One of the amanos from the 20 gallon I threw in here to kind of help clean off, because we get a little gunk on here and stuff. There's still aqua clear running on it, and I have a credit card to make the flow go straight out instead of down, because the aqua clear was kind of blowing straight to the ground. But so we have, let's see what we got here. These are a couple of my plants that I had in the 20 originally, but there were algae magnets in there. Here's a Anubias nana golden, and here and here. So I added the Anubias nana variegated, or marble. Here's one. There's just one leaf because I cut off the algae leaves, and then here's the other one. So it's growing good in here, and here's some little bit of peacock and Christmas moss in there, so it's doing good. Little betas, they're doing really good. They're getting along. Ellie and Lola, they're doing good. Took apart my canister filter this morning because I counted my endlers and I was missing one. So here we are. Hard to get a focus on endlers because they're so little, but this little male, this guy here, he was in the bottom of the canister filter. So I put him in here. Whenever, if the first time I took apart my, about 4 days ago, I took apart the canister to clean it, and there was a cherry shrimp in the bottom of it. And this time, the endler was in there, so I just put him in here. As you see, there's a little bit of hair algae in here. It does grow in here, and it's hard to really keep all the algae away in this tank, but it's a very low light tank, so it doesn't get it too bad. These bucephalandras, I got them from the local fish store, same pet store, and I always forget what they're called. Like, this is called like dark something, and let's see, these are standard SP wavy greens. This was a tissue culture I got from Petco. I mowed down the Bacopa carolinianas in the back. They were to the top. I mowed those down, and I'll show you real quick the 38. And in the 38, I mowed these guys down. They were to the top almost. These were just regular Rotala rotundifolias. They're green in here. Same one as in the 20 long that are pink. In here they're green. It's low light. So, but I clipped those across the bottom to get them a shape. so they'll grow back a little more bushy, and they do grow okay in here in this low tech. But I mowed those down too, and a little pleco action here. Those Ludwigia repens, the ones I collect locally around the block, those are still in here. I just clipped them off across here because they were like up to about there. So I just turned my clippings into the local fish store because they sell plants and stuff. So last time I showed this tank, I didn't really kind of go over the plants because to me it always looks the same. It never really grows. But I have Winty Browns. This is a green. And I have over in the other half of the tank, I've got metallic reds and some brown. These guys are cryptlucens. The green ones are cryptlucens. The little green one is a lucens. That's a crypt windy green. Lucens. I have a ton of cryptlucens and they all look different. You can see the brown leaf right there. When I pulled it out of the 20, it was getting brown leaves. The new leaves in this tank are green. So we got Cryptocorn balance, and there's also some on the right side of the tank in the back. Here's one of those Cryptalbeta costatus. Here's one of those. So you see the big crinkly octopus plant? A lot of people call it octopus plant. The big green one here, the tall one going everywhere. That crinkly plant, the octopus plant, that is a Crinum calamastratum. They have a kind of an onion bulb. And then back here I have another one similar that's kind of a red, but in this tank it's such a low light. This is a Crypt retrospiralis. Spiralis is a green. Retro. Ran out of space. I didn't. Sometimes I don't delete my videos as I go along, so my phone can fill up once in a while. This tank here, though, I have the branches on the left side and stuff, but I can't really do moss in here because the two Siamese algae eaters. This guy right here is one of them. I have two of them. They're pretty big. These guys here, they eat moss. Like, they peck at it, and it becomes very twiggy, like this back here. If I can focus, the fish come out in front and it unfocuses. But yeah, due to these two guys, I can't really do moss in this tank. Otherwise, I could really do something spectacular. But back here, it's a Hygrophila. I guess a giant Hygrophila, I guess is what it's called, maybe Corymbosa or something. But I got a couple of those back here. I had a couple more crypts back there, but I pulled them out and gave those to my local fish store too. And you see the power head, it fell off here, and it's just blowing towards the front kind of area. But it works out pretty good because, I don't know, it has a good flow like that. Back to the 5 gallon. So you see where I mowed down the Bacopa carolinianus. So mowed them down in lures in here. Both female betas in here, they're doing good. I'll show the other 5 gallon real quick. So 2 pots of melted Hygrophila siamensis 53B. If you're wondering why it's siamensis 53B, it's because they already had a Tropica Hygrophila siamensis, then they discovered another one and they realized it was a slightly different species, nearly the same, so they named it 54 or 53B. There is a siamensis. But some Ludwigia arcuata clippings. Let me kind of block the light a little bit. One Cereus stone, I just threw it in there. I don't know, it's just extra. But I will fill this with more substrate here. You can see it looks like crap here, but that's just, it is what it is. This is my neglect tank. There's no fish in here. There's just some snails and a few plants. Bacopa carolinianus Super, super hardy. And right in the middle is some Lindernia rotundifolia. Over here, a couple of cryptolucents, a couple of jungle val slash dwarf sedge, whichever one it is, I'm not sure. This little plant here is a crypt. I got this as a crypt parva, but it's not a parva, it's something else. Similar, very similar. Maybe a pygmaea. But that was like a switcheroo where you order a plant. Sometimes they, in the disclaimer, they can substitute something similar. But yeah, this is, I'll do something with this tank soon. 20-gallon long again. I know I show this tank way too much, probably sick of it, but the arcuata bush, it was really tall and really red, like fiery red. Well, I knocked it down. I trimmed it way down. So if you look here, the lights are kind of blue. It's going to nighttime mode. It's in its sundown phase. So sorry for the shakes. Something I'm really proud of here, the Juncus repens are taking hold, which is good. Juncus repens, I'm having a slightly hard time adapting. Hygrophila pinnatophyta though, if you see this one right here, I just kind of plugged it in there. It has adapted. So I checked my timestamps on my videos and I checked my eBay order. I got about 6 big giant tall stems of immersed Hygrophila pinnatophyta about 2 months ago. So it's been about 2 months and I was worried that all of it was going to melt and not survive, but the one over there was doing good. Hard to focus, my camera doesn't zoom in very well, but this one, it's transitioned. The little one here is transitioned. This big fat one here is transitioned also, and it actually got to the point where I clipped the top and it's making side shoots, so that might end up kind of bushy soon. And maybe if I turn on the backlight it might help. Look at this snail for a second. Okay, so we got the Amano chilling over here. That pinnatophyta is doing really good. I'm trying to move slow because it's on zoom, so it'll really look shaky. I just keep putting moss over here. I ripped out a big giant plug of that hydrocotyl right there and turned it into the local fish store too. There's that pinnatophyta, so let's see if we can get it to kind of focus. It has a little sprout on top. This little one here, it's sprouted and grown and taken hold. The big one, it's really hard to see on camera, but it's got little top shoots everywhere and side shoots. This whole little area, when I mowed down this bush, what I did was I also took some of these guys here and knocked a little bit off the bottom to make them shorter and plugged them in. So locally collected plants are in here. Bacopa carolinianas, 3 or 4 of them are in here. These Persicaria coangum, or however you say that, they're in here. They're not doing real great, but I mean, actually they are doing great. They're just kind of ugly. They're not real pretty like they are on eBay. The ones on eBay that I've seen, they're in tall tanks, so they got to grow really big and tall, kind of like this. These Amania gracilis, the real pretty ones in people's pictures, they're in tall tanks. So in tall tanks, they get to grow really tall, get really big around the bottom base of the stem, and get real sturdy and thick, and then the tops get really great. These guys are pretty short, getting beat down by light. So I don't know. It is what it is. I'll replace those with something shorter, like maybe some Gratiola, Vescadula, maybe. So we'll see about that. But here and out with the 5-gallon, just one more look. Ellie in the 5-gallon with the new female koi. So that's it. Update.